Hello? Hello, dudes! I am back! I was gone for a few days. What day is it tomorrow, actually? What day is it today? Today's Monday. Okay. I'll probably also have a stream tomorrow, but then after that, it's Wednesday, and also it's the day I leave for Japan, and I will be away on a vacation. Which I'm so excited about! Hello, welcome, dudes! How are we doing? Axel's so good. Thank you for gifting 10 subs. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Eat some good ramen. I'm going to eat so much good food. I am so excited. Also, I have to show you what I have now. If you didn't already see it on my Instagram story. I feel like I could make that better. I feel like it it needs to be maybe a little bit it's leaning maybe. Is that good? I got a little sprout on my headphones. Wait, I can't hear the music. Do you hear the music? I closed the music. Oops. There is no music. All right, we're going to be talking about the finale. We're going to be talking about lore. I'll answer any and all questions about it. This will be heavily spoilers stream, so be warned. Because if you haven't watched it yet, you're going to want to before you listen to this stream. Danica, thank you for subscribing. Geek Lord, thank you for the 100 bits. KWR Scarlet Louise, thank you for the prime. Becca, thank you for subscribing. Mia Felicidad and Malil, Caitlin Flute Cable, thank you guys for subscribing. I'm surprised you know how to do happy endings. Honestly, well, especially after season 1 of Empires, how that one ended. And just how tragic I make all my characters and all their backstories are tragic. But we wanted a happy ending for everybody. We just keep living in our little world of Empires for however long we continue living there in our characters. And maybe even some of us live and die there. I'm not going to talk about anybody else's finales too much because not everyone has released their finales, first of all. But what am I hearing? Oh, there's so much construction still happening. That's what I'm hearing. So I'll open the floor in a minute to questions. I'm just gonna wait for people to get in here. I feel weird about this. I feel like it's not really. I maybe need to adjust it a little bit. I think it needs to be adjusted a small amount. It feels a little meh. I think the season 1 ending was better. That is okay that you feel that way because it's a personal preference. You're not saying objectively, you're just saying you preferred it, and that's okay. You're allowed to prefer one over the other. We really didn't want it to end the same way as season 1, and we also did not want to have the world destroyed a second time because we wanted everyone to have a little bit of a happy ending. Okay, I gotta work on that. I think that it's too long of a string. But yeah. Question about Lizzie. How did she do that? So I don't know how much was in Lizzie's side about her necromancy or necomancy, but that was the reason I chose her to bring me back from the dead, was because she was exploring necromancy. I never encountered it in my series on my end, and I don't actually know how much of it was included in her end or if it was just something she was talking about, but she was exploring necromancy. And that's why she's the one who brought me back from the dead. Necomancy. Yeah. That's why I picked her to be the one. Someone was making a joke about how Sausage said, I know how to bring her back. We need Lizzie. And they were like, well, that's so random. But I didn't think it was that random. If you're watching her side of things, and if you're watching everybody's side of things, maybe from my side of things it was random, because why would Lizzie know how to bring me back from the dead? But, she did. And I assume that she used the campfire at spawn, because that is where I died, to summon lightning down and then use like a lightning rod to channel it and then basically defibrillate me back to life, with the help of Sausage pulling my spirit back too, because there were two parts of bringing me back from the dead. One was reviving my body. Two was Sausage pulling back my soul and not being corrupted anymore. She does also have 9 lives, but it is because she was exploring how to do necromancy. And so she knows how to bring people back from the dead. I liked this ending better than the first season. It wasn't as, like, we didn't get to have a big final scene with everyone. That's the only thing that maybe I would have added is, like, everyone get back on to... But there was no goodbye to be said. We keep living our lives. We have a happily ever after where we're all just still living there. We're just still... Maybe not all of us. I can't speak for all of the ones. But, you know, nothing is a jab at anyone. To think that way in the first place is silly. I chose the name of Soot Witches because I wanted to have, like, I had watched the D&D movie, and I wanted to have, like, a secret society of dark witches, like the Red... Is it called the Red Witches in that movie? And I had just watched Spirited Away, so I was like, if they were dark witches... Soot was, like, the best name that I could come up with them for it. Sorry, Wilbur, he does not own Soot. And that's just a silly thing to think it's a dig at anyone. If anything, it's like a nod to a friend of, like, I used their name. There's actually something that I'd like to reveal about that, because I think you might lose your minds over it, and also might be a little bit sad about how it didn't happen. But there was going to be an episode of me turning Tortoise into a human, and that human was going to be played by Wilbur, but he's too busy, and there was like a big lull in episodes on Empire side where we all kind of just lost our motivation, kind of lost where our stories were going, and we needed to like regroup. And so I planned around not doing that and moved forward in a different direction, but... that was gonna be the plan, was that Tortoise was actually a human cursed by a witch like years ago, and he just happened to find me, and then I turned him back into a human, and he was gonna be so annoying that I was at the end gonna just turn him back into a toad that can't talk. So there's a little extra information for you that I thought it would have been silly, but we just never got to do it. There were so many plans that I just didn't get to do, and I had to plan moving forward because I just kind of changed my mind and there was less time left than I thought. Do you want to know how I was originally going to end the entire series? I was going to end having a confrontation with the Council of Witches at the Witches Academy, leaving by jumping dimensions again so that they couldn't capture me, and then living on the run indefinitely. But then I was still going to die and then come back and have white hair, so that was going to be me being able to go back into Witch Society, but under an alias and like undercover because they wouldn't know who I was anymore. That was gonna be how I originally did it. I like how I did it this way instead better. Listen, you guys can write your little headcanons, and you know, if you want those to be still real things in your lore mind, go for it. But I like the ending I ended up with anyway. I mean better. I like the ending of the headmaster just dies. He just is dead. He was dead for all of the time since Sausage played that disc in his tavern. Principal knows I was like super clear to go home and safe all the while. And yeah, Tortoise was in communication with my grandma the whole time, so she wasn't worrying. He was spying for her. I liked that. I thought that was cute. I made that up at the very, very end because I was like, I don't know, I just thought about it. Who was spying on you though? Tortoise. Tortoise is he was the eyes for my grandma. I made him a magic toad, and I guess maybe that let her link to him and be able to be like, hey, you keep an eye on her and you let me know what's going on. Good guy, Tortoise. Slightly disappointed about the lack of resolve for Shrub. So here's the thing about that. Shrub was never part of season 2. Never was going to be a part of season 2. Her lore was never going to be an important part of season 2 at all. Her whole story is completely separate and entirely disconnected from season 2, other than the fact that the Evermore is the original Gnomeland. That was the only little tease. Shrub was only mentioned as like a little tease and a connection, but she was not supposed to be part of season 2 at all. I never meant to imply that she was. However, there is still a Shrub episode of like just an individual solo video, not a season 2 episode. I was on the fence about it being a season 2 episode. Either way, it still was going to be completely disconnected, so it made more sense that it's not an Empire season 2 episode. But the Shrub video is still coming. There is a Shrub epilogue video that I have half finished filming, and I will finish when I'm back from vacation, that will end her story, tie everything up. She is not connected to Great Witch Shelby. She had no part to play in season 2. She never did. But she will have her story ended. I know it's so late to do that, but it is just going to be its own little solo one-off Shrub video of a little adventure map that I made. I didn't make. I had somebody make an entire adventure map for me and my friends to go through, because I meet little characters along the way after we go through the portal. So Shrub story is still getting an ending, but it wasn't supposed to be involved in season 2, or it was going to be like a little side filler episode. But it didn't make sense to make it an episode in season 2 because she was not connected, and I thought maybe that might imply that she was going to be involved in season 2 and like show up, and I didn't want to do that because she was not supposed to ever. So hopefully you're not too disappointed, because it is still coming. There is still Shrub lore coming. It just was never meant to be tied to season 2. She's not involved in it. She's somewhere else, gone, wherever she may be in the world, or dead. Did you plan during Witchcraft SMP that the Great Witch Shelby will be the Storm Witch? I knew that I was going to do that before Witchcraft started. Me and Joey started the planning about Witchcraft SMP in the first place as like an idea of an SMP. We started talking about that together, and immediately I told him that was my plan. I knew from day one I was going to do that, and he was cool with it. But also, if anyone's lore in Witchcraft doesn't connect with me having it connect to empires, and it makes something controversial for someone else's story, I just like to think of my own episodes as their own AU. Either they do work with everybody else's worlds, or if they don't, that's how my world is doing things, and somebody else's world can do things different than mine too. And that's okay. It's not that deep, not that serious. Like with the whole Supreme thing, I could say on my end, maybe Great Witch Shelby does end up being the Supreme. I'd love to say that. But if that doesn't, if that conflicts with someone else's story, that could just, so that's a different story then, you know? Different world, different universe. Kind of like how Agents was. If anyone was around for watching the Agents like YouTube series I did with Max, we revealed at the very end, while we were simultaneously uploading all of our episodes on each other's respective channels, that the whole time our characters were living in different universes. So the characters on my channel were in a different universe from the ones on his channel, and that both of their universes were destroyed in different ways, because we didn't agree on how we wanted the ending to go. So we were like, why don't we just both do our own? And it reveals that they weren't even the same universe to begin with. They were AUs, and everything else about it could be exactly the same, but both our universes were destroyed in a different way. And I liked that we did that. We were like, we didn't agree on how we wanted it to be destroyed. We had different ideas, and we were like, we'll do both. And they just exist in different worlds, but they're still the same people. I knew Scott connected he has the skull in like the background of one of his episodes. I don't know if you noticed in Stormwood Shelby's house, ever since I decorated it completely, like the last time I did all of the final decorations in that house, I included a little purple frog lamp in the back. No one noticed. No one noticed ever. No one ever said anything about it. And no one ever noticed it there. But it was back there. It was there the whole time. I didn't just add it at the last second to be like, just kidding, it was here the whole time. Gaslight you. But yeah, he was in there the whole time. Also, a sad thing to realize is that Tortoise isn't in Witchcraft. Because little guy must have not, he lived his full life. 10 years later is a long time. So Tortoise is gone. Tortoise isn't in Witchcraft. Or we could say he's back home with her, you know, but I feel like I wouldn't have gone anywhere without him, so we're just gonna go with he's not there anymore. My familiar. But then that means we got a new familiar, and that was Nimbus the Crow. And he is coming home with me to wherever home is for Stormwitch Shelby at the end. Who is her? It is not supposed to be a specific person. I left it open-ended. We also left the Empire's finale with me and Catherine open-ended because the truth is, we didn't get to know each other all that well throughout the series, our characters. So ending with us just going on a date for the first time to get to like know each other on a date was exactly where we wanted to leave it. 10 years later, it could be her. It could not be her. It's a woman though, that's for sure. But it's whoever you want it to be. Whatever makes the most sense for you. We didn't want to feel like it was a rushed, like, queer love story and force it, because it didn't make any sense for us to end any closer together than just asking each other on a date, because we hadn't been on a date yet. We were just friends. So that made the most sense to me, not to confirm anything indefinitely, and we go on our date finally. We finally get to go on a date. That's where it's supposed to start, and I didn't want it to feel rushed. I wanted it to make sense. I understood some people were calling it queerbaiting, even though that's not what that is. That's not how that works. Also, I think that if you are queer, you can't queerbait, I think is something that someone told me. I'm not sure. Maybe that's wrong, but she's still definitely ace. But yeah, we also, in Joey's finale, if you haven't seen that, as a little spoiler alert, me and Catherine team up to go and save Joey, and then we all ride off into the sunset. Yeah, I am queer, so that's where it's like, but it's still a cute, like, crush between two ladies who definitely were interested in each other, but we wanted it to feel the most natural and make the most sense, and for us to end as girlfriends wouldn't have made any sense, considering how little time we actually got to spend with the real people who, like, the real Great Witch Shelby Not Corrupted, and the real Catherine, who I still didn't get to know very well yet. So we got all that time after our first date to do that, and whoever hovers at the end of Witchcraft, it could be her, maybe, but could be a different her. Who knows? Not me. I truly don't have it decided in my brain at all. It is just, she's just got a girlfriend back home. What was the deal with the Fae? I have no idea. I only found out recently who even was responsible for it, because the whole time it was happening live, I didn't know who was doing it, and I only found out like 2 days ago, and everyone else apparently knew, and I still didn't know. I was genuinely in the dark. And I won't tell you, because I don't want to be the one to reveal, because I don't think anyone has revealed it to the public who was doing it. But because I wasn't able to wrap up anything with the Fae for my episode, I just chalked it up to, that's just another one of them voices in my head. That's just another one of them guys who live in the fog and were voices and I'm done dealing with it now. I'm cured. It's not my problem anymore. Done. Whatever little evil guy Sausage was playing with the almost sounding reverse voice. Gone. Weird demon man in my brain. Everything's gone now that the corruption's gone. And I forgot to mention in the episode of like a little extra detail that the fog does clear. The fog becomes like, it clears up in the Evermore as I put more souls in more bodies. And it was gonna be assumed that it expands to cover the entire Evermore. Life has been brought back. There is a home back in the Evermore where there are beings that live and thrive and take care of the land. And so that is the future of the Evermore over the course of 10 years, is that there are many, many, many wood villagers who are also just little souls that were lost. And any other souls that ever get lost still, they get to continue living in a community that's now been built. And the Evermore is so happy to have people living in its lands again. Maybe it's less muddy, less swampy, less foggy, less shroom smoke to make everyone go delusional and see things and hear things. Little Ghost Spooky, thank you for subscribing. Juice, thank you. It's Bella Gotcha, thank you. Vatican Graffiti, Havy, Real Crafty, Winter Mist, Avelina, Absvan, thank you guys for subbing. Also, I have boba on the way. I ordered boba before I went live. Is it here? Oh, it's almost here. Does the connection between the names Evermore and Eversea have anything? No, that was an accident. I mean, we could say that they were named after the fact that they're next to each other. Like, they called the Evermore, and then they were like, there's a sea next to it. We'll call it the Eversea. It could be something that simple. But, I named the Evermore, and then Joey's was the Forgotten Cove when we were naming our areas before the season started. But then I think he named the Eversea later. But it was just a coincidence. For everybody asking about a season 3, I can't speak on a season 3. I'm not the one in charge of it. And so I can't say anything about it. I have nothing to say about it. I can't speak on it. However, there will always be more servers. There will always be more characters that we make. I always have many characters in my mind of like who's going to be the one I play the next time we are playing characters. There's always going to be more stories to be told, but it's not I can't speak on a season 3 because it's not my thing to speak on. And we keep in mind, we literally just ended season 2. I just today ended it, and not even everyone has uploaded their finales yet. So we're going to have a break is all I know is we're having a break. We're taking some time to not think about another character and server and story to tell. But will you be focusing on your vids now? I have a little bit of an idea. I mean, we always have another series that people are thinking up, and I don't know what the next one will be or when. Or I do, but I can't tell you. But I also want to do, whenever the 1.20 update comes out, I'm going to do a single player hardcore series. And also, why is my Uber Eats driver calling me on the phone? Don't do that. I left instructions on exactly how to get me my food, and I do not want to go outside. Please don't call me. I put this on Tumblr earlier today. I want to I'm toying with the idea of there's 10 years between Empire Season 2 ending and Witchcraft SMP Season 1 starting. I could have a little mini single player series of just some of the little Great Witch Shelby, Stormwood Shelby at that point. Just some of those adventures she might have gotten up to in those 10 years. I gotta go check on my food because I think that this man is refusing to come and put it at my door. And I'm not going outside to get it. Ugh. Please bring it to my door like I asked me. Oh. See your car outside. I don't know. Why do I ask for it to be left at my door and then they refuse to do that because they don't want to get out of their car? I don't want to get out of my house. This has never happened before, though. Mousy the Ghosty, thank you for subscribing. Susanna, thank you for the Prime. Matt County, thank you for subbing. Thank you. Was there a correlation between Witch Shelby and Gems Crystal Cliff Academy? Nope. That one I have answered many, many times. Nope. Wizards are not the same thing as witches. In our little universe of Empire's witchcraft lore, wizards are not the same as witches. And also, the Crystal Cliffs Academy would have existed over 1,000 years before. So the likelihood of them even being this, like, the same thing was super tiny. But they aren't the same because it is wizards who go to Crystal Cliffs, and I go to the Witch Academy. So it's a different school, different beings of magic, different altogether. Also, witches, I already established, had been around for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years before wizards. There is one. Oh, I think they left for the food. Oh, good. There is one little detail I included that I don't know if everyone has caught it, actually. There were a few little itty bitty teases. Let me go get my boba. Hold on. So there was... Who was the ghost? Which? Which ghost? Which time that I was being haunted are you referring to? Because there was just What is a soot witch? So I realized that I dropped like a little bit of a piece of lore that implies there's an entire underground society of dark witches trying to run the world in secret. And I dropped that at the very last second with an entire witch, with an entire name for their entire community. And that's something I would use if I went and did a single player mini-series of those 10 years in between, or at least some of them, those 10 years in between Empires and Witchcraft. And we could explore what the soot witches are, because I just made it up at the last second and I was like, this sounds like a badass society of dark witches. I'd like to explore that. Also, because I did say that Headmaster Knowles was hot. Hey, maybe he's not really dead. Maybe he's underground with the dark witches, and maybe he's also hot and a villain, and maybe we explore that. I don't know. That sounds like fun. I don't know how I would do it or when, but I feel like I came up with such a badass name of dark witches that I was like, what a waste that I threw it at the very end and didn't even get to use this, you know? Yeah, maybe he faked his death, but I don't know how you avoid the death of a major demon. But hey, maybe there's a way. This is sounding like Death and Agent Shub. I recycle the same things. I recycle the same story, the same characters. It is 100% the same thing as Death and Agent Shed, but only the people who watched that will know that. And there isn't a whole load of those. Can we see Headmaster Knowles' face? I never picked a skin for him. I just said I'd make him hot. But because I ended up not doing the confrontation with the Council of Witches, I didn't need to go find one. But I might literally recycle the Death skin just because I thought that one was a hot character, and it doesn't mean that he is the same person. But I'd love to use that skin again, because I'm just saying, Agents Academy Death was kind of hot. Kind of hot, kind of popped off with that one, with the skin for him. So no, there was no big bad like Zornoth. We each kind of had our individual bads. Like Joey had a big bad for his series. My big bad at the end was sort of myself, but also the whole fog and all of the evil demons and ghosts and things lurking in the fog was my enemy, I guess, the whole time. Also the Academy, but I ended up just having that be a background thing and not really an important thing. I still don't know who was leaving the signs, but I'm just chalking up any activity like that was the work of the fog. Just tricksters, things, whatever live in there, any other type of magical being. The Fae could have been them. Let's say it's the Fae, I don't care. I'm gonna go get a sauce, because I can't eat. I got fries. Now, there was a little detail of something that I included in that letter that I read at the end, and no one has noticed it yet, but it is a very, very tiny detail that I snuck in that letter. The finale is out. We are talking spoilers. You will be spoiled immediately. Not Barnabas. That one people noticed. That one's a pretty obvious one, because I name him. Barnabas does go on to become the headmaster, and that's why he ends up coming and being my, like, sponsor, or whatever they're called, in Witchcraft. We go way back. I cannot elaborate more about the Fae because I don't know anything about them. I wasn't the one doing it. I was just following their rules. And because I wasn't able to wrap it up with my finale, I'm just gonna say that's just more of them creatures that live out there in the woods messing with me, and now I'm not corrupted. I'm not messing with them back anymore. But I can't, I wasn't the one doing it, so I can't speak on it. I'll let whoever is the person who was doing it, whenever they want to reveal themselves, I'll let them talk about it. Yeah, the Soot Witches we talked about a little bit. We don't get to explore them because I did drop the bomb that they even are a thing at the very, very end. But I'm thinking about doing a single player server of, that you spelt Knowles like Knowles. I mean, you can't tell me that I spelt it wrong when I just chose the spelling of a name. I spelt it the way I spelt it. I didn't spell a different name a new way. I spelt the name my way. Did I spell it 2 different ways? Actually, is that what you're saying? I don't remember how I spelled it the first time or the second time. I'm not talking about the Fae. You can't just try and get me to answer questions like, was it a boy or a girl? We're not playing Guess Who. I'm not going to talk about it. They're going to talk about it when they want to. Would Newt be played by a character? I mean, it's over, so there is no one to play them because it's ended. I had no intention of that being a person that mattered. That was just someone to write me a letter, but they're not important. I can't answer any questions that are asking me about a season 2 of anything, or a season 3, or another season. I am not the person who makes these series. I can't tell you when another season of something is coming out. It is not my series. I can't do that. I can't answer those questions. Ooh! Would it be the demon being a second, or at least not first? That was it. I wrote in the letter that someone released a demon again. What do you think I might have meant by that, or implied by that? Because that was on purpose, and I did mean for that to imply something. The witches are responsible for Zornoth being released in season 1. That was what that was like a little bit of a hint to. The witches of thousands of years ago, or 1,000 years ago. I don't have like a plan of how they did it, but it was the witches who accidentally, purposefully, they released Zornoth. And that doesn't have to come back up or be anything more than just that little detail, but I wanted to include that. That the witches were the ones who set him loose the first time. No, the witches are not very good at keeping demons at bay. I mean, the witches aren't very good at a whole lot. They're selfish. They're run by the Dark Witches of the Underground, or they don't know what parts of which society is being run by the Dark Witches of the Underground. The Soot Witches. Is the first demon the same demon that was released again? No. Because the first demon is Zornoth. He's dead. So it can't be the same demon because Zornoth is dead. It would have been a different, just random demon. Not an important one. So in the timeline, Witchcraft SMP came first. No. Did you watch my episode? You might have said that you didn't watch mine yet. You're gonna want to watch it. That question is answered, though. Witchcraft... Wait, did you just say Witchcraft comes first? No, Witchcraft comes after season 2, because Great Witch Shelby becomes the Storm Witch 10 years later, right? I'm saying that the witches released Zornoth in season 1 of Empires, but the demon in Witchcraft is not Zornoth or the same demon from season 1 Empires or anything like that. Unless I know that I think there was a tease of it being Zornoth at some point. That's not my business. Is Shubble's hair made of fog cloud when she gets revived? No. Her hair is white because she was electrocuted back alive. I feel like I stole that from somewhere. That's got to be something that's happened in some form of media before, right? People getting electrocuted back alive, but their hair goes white. That was it. It's because she died and got brought... She was canon dead. I forgot to have that be mentioned specifically. Her being killed by Sausage was like a... Not that we were doing canon death, but it obviously acted differently than every other time I've died and just popped right back up. Oh yeah, X-Men Storm. When she gets her powers, her hair turns white. It's kind of like that. I got electrocuted to life and it turned my hair white. what empires did I have planned if I didn't pick the Evermore? I didn't have any others planned. I picked the Evermore and then made a plan. I didn't make a plan and then pick. I picked the Mangrove and then I made the Evermore. There was no other plan. Because I didn't need multiple plans. I just got asked, which biome do you want? And I picked. Electrocuted alive, is that why you became a storm witch? Not entirely. The lightning is like a little relevant detail. Do I not have napkins? Oh. But I chose to become the storm witch because I already was showing signs of having a connection to weather with my season 1 or season 2 Empires character, that every time I'd show up somewhere, it would start raining. And I'd argue fog is a element of weather. So instead of choosing just to go with a fog specialty, I chose weather. Because I was already making it rain everywhere, and I decided to go to Joel and ask him how to teach me how to make thunder. Also, if you haven't seen it, because I only just did it right before I went live, I pinned a comment on the episode that I just want to point out that as soon as Catherine said that my hair was the color of moonlight, my character immediately made that her entire aesthetic. She made that her entire personality, that one compliment from the girl that she likes. Anyone else notice that? She called it moonlight, and I said, that's my whole life now. I also 100% stole that whole idea of a scene from Howl's Moving Castle. That was my inspiration of Howl being like, your hair looks like starlight. Yeah. How did the date with Catherine go? I'm not going to speak on things that happen after my episode. That's not a thing that happened, so I can't speak on how the date went. We didn't actually go on a date. And I didn't really think of it how it went in my head. They had a good time? I don't know. I want anyone to draw me flying Catherine around on my broom, though. Because that's why I was like, we'll take my broom. Because I was like, someone's going to have a vision of this and make it art in a way that I could have never visioned it myself. Visioned it? Envisioned it. Was when Witch Shelby visited different empires and it rained canon, or coincidence? Oh, that was a coincidence. It just kept happening. I would show up at people's houses and it would start to rain. And I didn't have commands to control the weather on the server, and no one else was doing that for me. It just was happening. And I was like, I'm going to lean into that. And then that happening on Empires is what made me decide to make that my Witchcraft SMP character and make her my Empires character in the future, was the fact that I would show up places and it would start raining. And I was like, that's a good idea of a type of witch, and I'm going to make it the same witch. I get my art supplies right now. Has Witchcraft ended? Yes. So I'm just not going to read the rest of the question. The finale happened ages ago. I don't know if you've missed that, but that ended a while ago. We did the final Supreme battle. I uploaded the finale. You should watch it if you haven't. It's very clearly the finale because the final battle happens and the Supreme is chosen. Kind of sad Witch Shelby never got the crown. I had a plan for if I was going to get it. It was only going to be a half a second that I was going to even hold on to it. I thought about when I was going to kill Flip. I had a plan of maybe I do kill him and he still has the crown and I take it. And then 2 seconds later, Sausage flies in and kills me. Like how it went in the episode. So I was never going to actually do a rule. That was the only idea I had for it. I thought up rules on stream one time, but I decided not to actually do it. But then Joel ended up killing Flip for the crown instead. So I just was like, it's probably better she doesn't even ever touch it. Probably. But I was going to die immediately with it was the plan. Hi, Ollie! We're talking lore. I uploaded my finale today. I cried while I was editing it yesterday. That was yesterday's whole day was dedicated to finishing it. Hey, that bodes well for the Storm Witch. The whole fact that she's even invited to be part of the Supreme battle must mean she's really, really good. And also, based on how my season 2 Empires ends, I was trained by a god, so don't really know how many other witches can say that. And if you want to headcanon it like I headcanon it, Stormwood Shelby does become the Supreme. And then she defeats all the Soot Witches, and everyone lives happily ever after. I chose Lizzie to bring me back because she was exploring necromancy. I don't know if you didn't catch that on her end of things, or if it wasn't even really brought up too much on her end of things, but she was exploring necromancy, and so I was like, I'm gonna have her come and bring me back to life then. We were supposed to do a scene on that earlier in the series about how she's exploring dark magic, and I kind of have a feeling about it, but we didn't end up doing it. But I do hope the nature wives that you got satisfies you enough. I know it doesn't confirm anything, but that's what we wanted. And made the most sense, and it was fun. I think Leslie had an episode on it. Yeah, okay. I thought she mentioned it on her end, but I never explored that on my end, so I understand people being like, what's Lizzie got to do with bringing her back from the dead? A whole lot. A whole lot. But... Did you have any plans for the center of the Evermore? Or you didn't have time for it? No, that I explored and explained everything that the center of the Evermore was, and that was the end of it. There wasn't anything more to it, except for the fact that I didn't include in my finale that the fog does eventually clear up, and then the tree beings and whatnot continue to live in the Evermore and putting more lost souls into more wood bodies, but they live happily ever after in the Evermore. The fog goes away, and it just becomes a beautiful, lush place to live for those spirits that got lost and need a new place to live. But there was no more to the center of the Evermore. I revealed everything about it that there was to be revealed. I'm getting phone calls. 2 from the same number. I'm not interested, thanks. If it's important enough, you leave a voicemail. Your Witchcraft OC found the crown that Scott left after Milo and him reunited? No. Actually, a different witch found it. But in my, headcanon, him giving it up means that it goes to me next. And that's how I'm thinking about it. Because I don't think it was ever about who is wearing the crown. Because anyone would just kill whoever has the crown. But that isn't how we went about picking a new Supreme. I would have just showed up and killed Scott immediately if I knew that. As soon as he got given it, I would have just took him down. But if it works based on who came second, then I don't know, maybe that's how it happened, is what my headcanon is. That's my headcanon. I can make whatever it is. My headcanon is my headcanon. Did you see in Catherine's episode? I didn't include it in mine because it didn't fit with the whole story that I ended up telling, but I did get put in jail at her house. And I very much could have flown out the top, but I didn't because I respect Catherine too much. Even when I'm evil. Yeah, just in my headcanon, Joey made a whole lore reason how the Supreme is chosen, and it just, in my headcanon, just picking up the crown doesn't equal becoming, because then I feel like someone would have killed the other Supreme a billion years ago. Just be a constant battle of trying to kill them for that power. But that's just because I have myself so wrapped up in witch lore from Empires and Witchcraft that I feel so a type of way about it. At least for my story. That's why I said anyone who has something going on their own story that contradicts what I have established in mine, doesn't matter. It's different world. They can establish whatever they would like, and it's completely fine and not that deep. Not a big deal. I did film the clip of me getting put in jail, and I did have a whole bit while I was sitting in my boat of talking to the other witch in the other cell. Hi, Star! sleepy. Star is here. What about Shrub? She is a season 1 character and she will have her epilogue video. But it is not part of Empire season 2 because she was not part of Empire season 2. But you will get the ending of Shrub's story. Is Joel canon to Stormwitch? He's canon to teaching me how to clap my cheeks to make thunder. He's canon to training me. You eating the baby at the warden is crazy. I threw him. He was an egg. I also had dropped a couple of other babies before that, but I didn't include that in my video either. In a days, thank you for subscribing. I don't want any more fries. These were good. I'll eat these later. I got sweet potato fries. I'm gonna go put these away along with the sauces, and then I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna sip my boba. I'm gonna keep answering questions. I'm gonna keep talking lore, talking about what would happen if this happened, or what would Greywood Shelby do if this happened. I'll be right back. Also, has anyone noticed the sweater I'm wearing? Anyone see my post saying, ooh, what could this be? Stormwitch Shelby inspired? It probably won't be out until the fall, but it's got a little stars and clouds and a little moon. I'm wearing a large. If it's like an extra large, I think they're all gonna be a size up. I think they're all a little big. But I think that's gonna come out in the fall. And then surprise! The sage green cat plant jumper and the space cat jumper are both coming back for a period of time, both with puff print this time. Because so many people, including friends of mine, were like, your merch sold out and we want to buy it. So I was like, I gotta restock it, because at least even my friends are like, please, we want some. So those will be coming back for the spring, and then this will come out in the fall, and this will probably come with something like a smaller, similar type merch, either a t-shirt or I'm thinking socks or something, but I don't know quite yet. Let me actually get the, yeah. Okay. I don't know if there's any like tweaks to be made with this either, or if it's just fully the way. This is the first draft, and I think that it's done. I can't think of anything that would make it better, except like I was thinking like little silver threading, but I don't know if that's even an option. Okay, just getting that message sent so that we could have the Sage and Space Cats come back, both with puff print. That means the Sage Green has puff print this time. It did not have puff print last time. Hold on. Look what I ordered. Look what I ordered. Look what I ordered. I'm gonna put it as a backsplash in my kitchen. Isn't that cute? They're like little tile stickers. I'm so excited about it. I wanted to like either maybe wallpaper my kitchen or do something like this. I'm so excited. I've been ordering so much stuff on Amazon of like just little apartment tweaks of things I could do. I ordered candles recently and I got all of those. I ordered little backsplash sticker tile stickers. The only thing with those is that they're very flat, so they don't have like that raised tile feeling to them like you can get sometimes with backsplash tiles. Hi. But no, there wouldn't be an Empire's bloopers because I don't have enough footage that I still have. When do you think you'll do an apartment tour? No, I don't have any plans to do one. I do have plans to do maybe more videos in other rooms, but I don't have any plans to do a tour. Give me 1 second. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. I got a cat. I got a cat. I got a cat. Ugh. Oh, her snack just dispensed. Her little snack just dispensed out of the auto feeder. Oops. Whew. Okay, I'm excited about putting my backsplash up later now. This is gonna be fun. What's she doing? She doesn't usually turn off video. I do. Yeah, I do. I do back and forth. Don't overthink things like that. Don't worry. It's all good. Well, I've spilt on my new merch. Now the stars are green. Ow. Okay, let's go back to Empire's lore Q&A, talking about my finale. Lots and lots of spoilers. I'm gonna try my best not to spill my boba on myself again. Oops. But yeah, that's all today's stream is gonna be, is just chatting about the finale and whatnot. And the lore, and any questions about the lore, because I know some things are left open-ended, and that is on purpose. But yeah. Did you have another power in mind other than storm weather powers? Nope, that was literally the first thought I had, and that was just the one that I went with. Because of Great Witch Shelby having the effect of making it rain everywhere she went. That was my first and only thought. What would have happened if Joey won the fight at the festival? Well, you want to know how that was supposed to go? No one was supposed to win. We were actually supposed to get stopped by Catherine before either of us died. We didn't plan for the fight to actually end and anyone dying, but I killed him because she didn't stop us in time. We didn't make a plan for what would happen if either of us won, because we didn't plan for that to even be how it went. But we also don't plan for specific outcomes at all. We don't plan that far. Other than the fact that we weren't going to actually kill each other, but then I did kill him. Are there any lasting effects from the skull-like scars, or which shall we still hearing the voices? No voices, but I did see that Sausage and Scott both have tattoos in their shirtless skins, and a little part of me wants to believe that there's like a little skulk scar tattoo type deal somewhere. I don't know. Maybe, but no voices. That would be awful if that was like a lingering effect. I wouldn't do that to her. Do I have any ideas for my own SMP? Nope, I have no plan of doing my own SMP. I like being a part of SMPs and not the one making the SMP. I have ideas of single player series, but no SMP. Not of my own. At least not right now. The voices are friendly? No, they aren't. Not all of them. Did you not hear the one of Sausage that was like super demonic and almost sounded like it was talking backwards, but it wasn't? That's just how he was sounding. But yeah. Is there any witchcraft merch? Not like specifically, but this is my merch that's going to be, it's themed after my witch, the Storm Witch, and that'll be coming out in the fall. But as a server, I don't know of anything happening. I'm not the one in charge of the server, so... was Zornoth part of season 2 in any way? Nope. Unless you count Evil Sausage being a result of eating the Zornoth crystal, but Zornoth himself is dead. He died in season 1, and he is not in season 2. Was not any part of it. He is dead. He is dead. Yep. Do you think you'll make, I don't know what that word was supposed to be, mushroom or cute floral merch? I am having the plants cat sage, like sage plant cat merch come back out, and that has little succulents and mushrooms on it. Would Great Witch Shelby go back to the Witch Academy or stay in the Evermore? I say exactly where she goes in the episode. She finishes her year of residency in the Evermore. That was always what the plan was for sending witches to their little areas that they are supposed to, technically in witch society, they're supposed to just spy on them and not interact. Great Witch Shelby lied and said that we go there to help the people of the areas that we're given. But yeah. Oh, give me 1 more second. 1 sec. I keep missing the unmute button. Ah! You wanna know what sucks? I lost something on the last airplane I was on, and I'm really sad about it. And there doesn't seem to be any hope of it coming back, because it also was like a really tiny thing. But you might notice this is no longer the right color. I lost the matching wire to my Beats that was like the cream off-white color. I left it in the back seat pocket of the seat that I was in, and so I had to order a replacement, and it's white. They don't sell the actual color of this one as a like replacement wire, and it's gone now forever, and I'm really sad that it doesn't match anymore. The leaf is, yeah, I took the leaf off because it felt awkward. I need to like readjust how it sits on the headphone. But so yeah, the Sage merch is coming back. It's coming back as a puff print and just the Sage color one. I don't know when. I think this week. But that and the Space Cats are coming back as like little bonus things. Was there more interaction you wish to do with the other empires? Always. I always wish that there was like, we always get so caught up in our own little stories, and sometimes I feel like I don't see the other emperor's places. Like that last scene at Joel's, I hadn't seen his in such a long time on the server. It is so insane. It's so well built and so crazy. I will tell you on Twitter. I'll tweet when it's out. Don't worry. My wire's gone. It's like the only time I've ever left someone on a plane. And it's definitely something that's like, they are not going to send all of the men to go and find for me. Did I take my vitamin today? I don't remember. I think I did, though. I don't remember. I think I did, though. But I don't remember. I'm gonna go with I did. And not take it again. How did Lizzie know that lightning would cure you? It was the fact that she was doing necromancy. And so Frankenstein style is where my thought process came from, is that she would... It's like a defibrillator. Electric shocks restart the heart. It's science and it's in Frankenstein. And necromancy stuff or whatever. Oh, it does still say April. I changed that, but I guess it reset. I'm just gonna, for today's stream, hide that. But I can't answer any questions that are about Lizzie and her finale. Please don't ask me questions about other Emperor's finales. I'm not them. I'm not a messenger for them. I can't speak for them. How far in advance do you know about Join Witchcraft SMP? Me and Joey talked about that. I was the first person to be talked to about it because we kind of like worked on the idea of it together at the very beginning. So day one of it even being an idea. And I knew immediately what I wanted to do with it being the same witch. But in the future, I didn't know how my Empire's character was going to end yet, and I didn't know how my Witchcraft character was going to go, but I knew I wanted them to be the same person immediately. How did they convince Witch Shelby to comply and be fixed? Girl, she was dead. Girl, she was dead. And then Sausage came into the spirit world to pull the pure Witch Shelby spirit back into my body. They didn't have to make her comply. They up and killed her. They killed her ass. She's dead. She was unconscious because she was not alive. Maybe that was too unclear. Sausage kills me. Oh no, he says he kills me. Yeah, no, that's how they get me to comply, is that they fucking kill me. I knew as soon as people saw my Witch Shelby with white hair and like the green and purple outfit, I knew as soon as that ended up on Name MC that everyone was gonna finally have it confirmed that my two witches are the same witch. But I knew eventually it was gonna have to happen, that I'd have to wear the skin for long enough that it would upload to Name MC. I was confused with the dreams and stuff. Oh yeah, those weren't dreams. That was for the first thing was hell. Being killed as the corrupt Witch Shelby sent me into an ancient city, which would have been my, like, purgatory hell type of situation. But then with another shock of reviving my body back to life and Sausage entering the spirit world to go and find me from the other side, then I ended up in a white void because the corrupt me was cured or whatever. I don't know. I didn't make like a full detailed explanation of how it works, but that's the idea of it. And then I end up in the white void as just a pure witch Shelby who is dead. And then Sausage is like, we're going to bring you back. We're bringing your body back now. And I'm going to bring your soul back from here. This is your void. Or I think he called it my purgatory as well, or my spirit world, because that was non-corrupt me now. And then I got lightning struck one more time, and I was alive. Is the school Witch Shelby is in the same witch school in which SMP? So in the witching world, I'll say there are multiple academies. So all of the witches in Witchcraft SMP did not necessarily go to my witch academy. I always just refer to the witch academy, but it is one of many, of all different regions of witches that all go to different schools. I'd also say if you're a witch, you don't have to go to an academy. You know, you could just still be a witch. But that's just the one that Great Witch Shelby went to and would have been referring to as Storm Witch if I ever mentioned it, but I don't remember if I did. Hi, Scott! I got my finale out today. I finally was able to tell them about the little purple frog lamp that I hid in Storm Witch Shelby's house, and they know about your little skull that you hid in your house. I cried while I was editing it last night, but I'm so happy that it's out now, and I'm about to go on a 2-week vacation to Japan. Did you book those flights? Not yet. I'm gonna go search it today to see if there's an available seat, or if not, get the closest next available flight to land me there the same time. I gotta check that today. What frog lamp? You should go check my second Twitter. I posted a picture of it. I'm so excited about going to Japan. I'm so excited. What keyboard switches do you use? The ones that I'm using right now in this keyboard. I think they're called Jiggles. I think that's the ones that I put in here. Hi, Star. I'm not planning on doing a vlog because this is a proper vacation. I'm not planning to think very much about working while I'm there. I'll be taking lots of pictures. But I don't vlog though. I've never been a vlogger. I always say this every time someone's like, will you vlog when you go there? I've never vlogged when I went anywhere. So no, probably not. I'm going to enjoy my time and also take lots of pictures though. Many, many, many pictures. But I'm not one to whip out a camera. I'll probably take like videos while I'm walking around, but I'm not vloggy style, you know. Oh yeah, follow me on Instagram. It's gonna be fire for this trip. I can't wait. I'm gonna go to Disneyland. I'm going to the Ghibli World thing. Woo! It's gonna be so much fun. We were all expecting a giant world ending, but this time there seems to be more individual things. I think that it would have been silly to end it the exact same way as the first time. And I think everyone was much happier and excited about a happy ending for the server instead of like ruining it again for no good reason other than we did that the first time. I was so happy that it's implied that we all just continue living there. We just keep living the lives that we were living, making our friendships even stronger. We all go back to normal. I really, really like that as an ending a lot better. And there was no reason for the world to end because we didn't have this big bad the whole time. There was no reason that the world should have been destroyed at the end, because that wasn't something happening the whole time. So I think this made a lot more sense for this season, but I know some people liked season 1's ending better, some people didn't. They like this season's ending better. It's just preference. Neither of them are objectively better or worse because they are different. I personally really liked having this ending because I like having a little happy ending for my character. Not that Shrub didn't even get a happy ending. We don't know what her ending is still. So, just to be honest. I don't know what's going on with the Fae. I'm not corrupt anymore and I'm not hearing voices. I'm done with them. That's all I know. Did Witch Shelby get confused when she saw Scott and Joey in Witchcraft SMP? Somebody left this comment on my YouTube video. No, because we're role-playing. Joey and Scott on Witchcraft SMP are not the same Joey and Scott on Empires. Obviously, they are the same people in real life, but you have to have a little imagination. And remember, this is all roleplay. There is no reason why Great Witch Shelby would look at Joey in Witchcraft and be like, you're Pirate Joey. Like, that's taking yourself out of the lore by making it real people, but you're supposed to be role-playing. They're not identical characters in my mind when we're role-playing. They are different people, so there's no reason she would think she knows any of them. They're different people. She has never met them. Also, Witch Scott could not be further from Chromia Scott. Yeah, somebody asked if that meant that everybody on Empires was also their witches, like even including Cleo on Hermitcraft, and I was like, no, just me. It's just me. Just me, and then maybe Lizzie, because somebody said that Lizzie used the skin that she used as the Supreme in Empires, but I can't speak for that. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe she does end up being the Supreme as a cat. I can't really honestly tell. But yeah, just because they're played by the same people doesn't mean that they have to, in character, look identical and make me be like, wait, you guys are my friends from this other world. That wouldn't make any sense when you're role-playing or in character. It would ruin every time you have a series with new people. If you connect your character to another one, that now you have to address the fact that you're playing with people that look like the other. That's not how you roleplay. You roleplay by putting yourself in the character, and those people are new characters too. In your episode, Newt was talking about jumping dimension. Because you said Witchcraft came after Empires. What dimension did you jump? You might have missed this or forgotten about it, but I jumped a dimension very early in season 2 of Empires, during the incident in which I actually broke the whole server, and we had to upload a new copy of the server to fix what I did. And so I explained it in lore in my episode, because my chunk got rolled back. I explained it as having borrowed from a different dimension to fix the one that I live in. And that's what I'm referencing when I say I jumped dimensions. I made it out to be this like really big deal of magic, but really I broke the server and we had to roll it back. Now people forgetting, so we literally broke the server. And I called it dimension hopping. And then one of the hermits actually came to me to do it for them too. They were like, can you do that? And I was like, I've done it before. I borrowed a little piece of a different dimension and pulled it into mine. It's a big deal. How did you break the server? I didn't knowingly do it. Like, it wasn't something that I could have known was going to happen when it happened. But I was brewing potions, and in the same tick that they finished, I entered the nether, and my whole chunk was inaccessible. Anyone who tried to... I couldn't come back out of the portal anymore because it kept disconnecting me anytime I was in that chunk. Anyone who flew by where I lived, they couldn't enter that chunk because it would disconnect them, and as soon as they were inside it, they couldn't get back out. And so we had to reload the server with the previous world save that we had, but it was a little bit older than, like, it was a few days outdated. The Great Corrupted Chunk of 2022. It was the most insane accident because the only thing that we could come up with that made it break, Flip said that he did narrow it down to being the brewing stands, which is such an odd glitch that when the potions finished being brewed, in the same second, I switched into the nether. That's the only thing that we could come up with is what happened, because we knew it was the brewing stands by the logs, but we couldn't figure out anything else that could have been the reason why the brewing stands would break my chunk. And I never left potions to brew while I would go off to another dimension ever again. Because I didn't ever want that to happen. That's why I changed my whole shop, too. Remember I had a mushroom and I got rid of it? That was a happy accident because I didn't want to have the mushroom shop anymore. Because everybody was like, oh, was trying to encourage me to do more mushrooms. And I was like, no, I was just going to do the one. I'm not shrub again. But people really wanted me to be shrub again, so I got rid of the mushroom. In the nicest way possible, that's the most Shelby thing that Shelby could ever do. I did not do it on purpose. I would have known. That's the Minecraft equivalent of leaving the stove on and burning your house down. Did you crochet more little planes? I didn't crochet that one myself. I wish I could have, and I probably very easily could have learned this for such a little thing. But I ordered it on Etsy. I bought it on Etsy. Because I don't know how to make a little leaf. I only know how to make a square, and I don't have the supplies. But, look at you, other dimension Shelby just happened to steal it back as you were about to get rid of it. Yeah. Let me go get... I haven't drank much of this. Hi, my love. I'm gonna go grab water real quick because I feel like I need it. Sometimes you just need water in addition to the drink that you have. Crispy! Chris Pie, thank you for subscribing. I'll be right back 1 second. Alright, everybody staying hydrated? I hope. Do I still have my Tamagotchi? I do. Its battery died, though. I have it here, but its little battery is dead. So I gotta give him a new one. We're still in the great pause. The great Tamagotchi pause. I'll probably answer questions for like a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna go. I do have a whole lot of work to do today and tomorrow before I leave for Japan, so I couldn't do a very, very long stream today. But, oops, that felt really loud. Is that better? Was it loud, or is that just me? I'm a little sad my finale's done, but I'm also very, very happy that it's done. It felt like a good way of wrapping up all of my stories. I tied all of my loose ends. And I'm really happy with it. And I think that it ended at a good time. And it was a good ending. So, yeah. What's with everyone going to Japan? It's because it's the first summer, spring, cherry blossom period that Japan has been open for. Japan was closed off to anyone traveling until I think about October. But this is the first warm that people are able to go to Japan. So that's why a lot of people are going at the same time. It just happens to be that they just opened up recently, or not that long ago, and now it's the spring season that no one has been able to go there in years. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I don't know if I'm gonna get to see the cherry blossoms. I don't know if it's already gonna be over by the time we get there, but I can only hope that we still get to see like a little bit. I do feel like a few things were rushed by other people's. Unfortunately, it's really hard with an SMP to pace fully, like, accurately, because we don't know when we're getting started how long it will run for. We kind of just feel it out as we go. And so for some people, it maybe felt more natural for it to end soon. And for other people, they may not have paced it perfectly because there's no way to do that with an SMP where we don't have a plan of exactly how many months it'll be. But I hope that everybody is happy with their own endings. I think everyone had really, really good endings that I have seen so far. I really like them. And I'm very happy with mine. I felt like mine was rushed a little bit because I did plan for there to be a whole thing with the academy, but then I just decided to have that one demon that Sausage summoned, killed the headmaster, and all those problems just disappeared. And I kind of like that. It felt like a rush at first, but it actually is a better ending, and it's a little silly, and it's fun, and I like it. That year was so fast. Yeah, right, because it was like a full year of an SMP. It was not short by any means. I don't know which season was longer, 1 or 2, but I don't know. But we'll see. Thank you for the nature wives. I hope I get some good art. The headmaster was so mean to Witch Shelby. I'm happy they got killed. I was like, this is the fastest and easiest way to wrap that story up that did not end up being like a very main plot point, because I didn't want anything to be a main plot point other than me just being a goofy little witch playing with my friends. I don't want to plan too much about how I'm going to play my character. I just pick a character and play what feels natural. And I have some story in the background, but I didn't want it to be the biggest, like, main thing. And yeah, I got to sneakily let my character even have an entire other SMP series of lore tacked on to the end. And now we know why Barnabas is scared of Shelby. We actually don't. We still don't know. Whatever made Barnabas afraid of Shelby happens in those 10 years, but we don't know what it was. Although I did mention in Witchcraft it was because I struck him with lightning by accident one time. So maybe we do know, but not because of the way Empire Season 2 ends, but because of what I had said about it in Witchcraft. Barnabas becomes the headmaster of my witch academy, and that's why he comes to sponsor me in the Supreme Witch Trials. Hi, Bean. Hi, baby Bean. Who's Barnabas? You're gonna have to go watch Witchcraft if you don't know who Barnabas is. That means you did not watch my Witchcraft series. which I should have linked in the finale. If you didn't watch that SMP, yeah, Barnabas is I'm pretty sure he's mentioned several times. Yeah, there's a lot that I could have done to Barnabas in that 10 years, to be honest. Especially because I'm just going to be learning my storm powers. Is the Witch Academy like a university? Yeah, it's an academy. Like, I didn't decide if it was like high school or college. I want to believe it's like college. Because I think what I headcanoned Great Witch Shelby as being was... Amazon, be right back. All right. Any other lore questions? Any other thoughts, ideas? Hi, Star. If Grandma was also a witch, would she... Oh, I didn't make any plan of what my grandmother's witch powers were when she was a witch in school. Oh, did I finish saying how old I said Great Witch Shelby was? I had cannoned her as being 18, I think, because I think of her as an adult. But then 10 years goes by, so in witchcraft, she's 29 because she spends a year in the Evermore. Which is my age! Oh, I didn't do that on purpose, actually. That was a coincidence. The Shia reference in witchcraft is not confirmed to be anyone. It is ambiguous. It is whoever you might want it to be. It is open-ended. There is no one specific. It's just she. We left it ambiguous on purpose. After the finale, does she stay in Glimmer Grove with Catherine for a while? No, that wouldn't make any sense. She stays in the Evermore for a year, and then she goes and she starts training and studying her Storm Witch abilities. Listen, slow down. They're just about to go on one date. Slow your roll. She's not spending any time in her home after just one date. And not to mention, there is a reason why we ended it with one date and then being open-ended. I am not going to make any definitive decisions about what happened after that at all. There's a reason it's not in the video. That is where it ends. It's up to the imagination. But any questions that are like, what happened next? Do you end up dating her? Do you marry her? Is she the... It's ended the way it is ended on purpose. You can imagine what you would like, but that is all that I will be confirming about it. Because that's all that we have decided on. Would she have gone back to Empires after the Witchcraft finale? No, it's stated in the video that she doesn't go back to the Evermore after her year. Or like she spends her year there and then she leaves. And where she's living in Witchcraft at the very beginning and where she goes home to at the very end, that's where she's been living for like since the Evermore. Or I don't know what she did in those 10 years, but she leaves the Evermore after a year and then she goes live somewhere else. And then at the end of Witchcraft or end the beginning, she clearly lives somewhere else that isn't the Evermore. So she doesn't live there anymore. But does she talk with the people after Witchcraft? I would imagine the friends that she had are still her friends. They probably write little letters. She's probably still writing letters to Flip and Ollie and Sausage. Oh, checking in on how they're doing. Writing letters to Catherine and even Joey. Where's tortoise during witchcraft? You're not gonna like the answer. I do have a little purple frog lamp in my house, though. Yeah, we're gonna talk in the Empires group chat. Yeah, tortoise isn't in witchcraft. And as my familiar, I wouldn't have gone anywhere without him. But there is a little purple frog lamp in my house. I did not lampify him. I like to think Ollie shows up every now and then. Yeah, he comes and visits me in my house with my woman. Did Lizzie call Joel for the thunder when they revive you? No, because it isn't thunder, it's lightning that they use to revive me. I don't know if Joel does lightning, to be honest. I don't actually know if that's part of his lore. But Lizzie comes to spawn, and because she's a necromancer, she can use the campfire at spawn to start a storm, to use that lightning. But I didn't have Joel involved. You would have heard his voice if he was there. But I didn't have him involved in reviving me, because Lizzie's the necromancer. She knows how to do it. Maybe he can retire and go live with Grandma. I don't know how long frogs live for, but sure, we could go with that. But as my familiar, I just feel like he would not, I wouldn't go anywhere without him. But we get a new one. We get Nimbus the Crow. He's a Necomancer. You're right. Neko. Wait, so y'all been building spawn just to say, all right, cool, bye? Yeah. We wanted to have it before the server ended, but it was right at the very end. That's a little sad. Well, hey, the animals can't live forever. But I immortalized him in my lamp in my house because I could never forget such an important little man, Tortoise. And I mean, maybe he does retire with Grandma because you know what? They were in cahoots the whole time. So, maybe. I never confirmed it. So, I'll let you headcanon whatever you want for that. Go for it. He's not dead, actually. How about Tortoise's girlfriend? Oh. I have to admit something. I have to admit something, but it is not part of the canon, okay? So, this didn't happen in canon. Got it? I was in my house, off stream, off camera, just like kind of on Empires, doing whatever I'm doing in my house there. And, I can't explain how it happened. I don't actually still know how it happened, but I accidentally pulled my wand. And at that moment, Tortoise jumped. Oh, it's not Kitty. It wasn't Kitty. Tortoise jumped. And I don't know why I pulled my wand, but then I let go in the moment he jumped. And I killed him. So what I had to do was rename Kitty to Tortoise. And then just pretend Kitty was never even there. No, Flip, no! This isn't canon. It's not canon. Tortoise is fine. He's still alive. Kitty was never there. No one ever saw her. I don't think I ever addressed her in my main YouTube videos, I think. So she just never was there in the first place. And Tortoise is still there. He's fine. I actually shed a tear in the moment it happened because I get very emotionally attached to my animals in Minecraft. And I was in absolute shock that I don't even know what I was pulling my wand for. I think that I was meaning to eat and I accidentally pulled the wand and I just let go. And he jumped in the way as I let go. I didn't mean it. I wouldn't have ever done it. And I just took, it was, thank God Kitty was even there because I didn't have a backup turtle or tortoise. I didn't have a backup frog. So, thank you, Kitty. Tortoise lives on in your body. That's not canon. It's not canon. He never died. I never shot him. It wasn't me. You're already retired. Where are you retiring to? Did you state, like, where is the retirement location? I hear the Evermore is great this time of year. Oh, the drip. That's good. That's a good place to... I love that we all just kind of continue in our little homes. Honestly, you know what I can't even say for certain? I said that I spend a year in the Evermore and then I go out and I do some more learning of my special abilities. And obviously where witchcraft begins, I'm in a house in this beautiful forest. Who's to say that that's not just what the Evermore looks like in 10 years after all of the fog goes away and the sort of air is cleared and it's able to thrive again? I can't say that that's not maybe just actually the Evermore, but 10 years later. Honestly, I can't. I totally can say that actually if I really want to. I have all of the power. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. No one gonna, if I had thought of that at the time for witchcraft, I probably would have picked where I put that house a little bit more specific. But power to murder. I'm not even talking about all the babies that I killed, and I did not pay you for them. I paid you, I think I gave you 8, and I said I owe you 2. Or I paid you 7, because one of them I paid you for the tour, and then I owed you 3. But I did kill 2 other ones, so... I continue to be in debt. That was not a joke. Witch Shelby is in debt. She's no longer a criminal, but she is in debt. Someone also pointed out that I still should definitely be a criminal, because it was absolutely me who summoned the I mean, you could argue it wasn't me, it was Sausage. But we summoned a demon that is the one that killed Headmaster Knowles. They don't actually know that part, but the fact that he died was a good thing because he was an evil guy, and so we're just gonna sweep that one under the rug. The IOU list is long. Oh, man. Well, I think that's enough of lore today. I think I did answer all of the questions that were the ones that, like, I wanted to answer because I knew people would have questions about them. I got to reveal all my little hidden details, like the little sliding in of summoned a demon again. Not a whole lot of people, I'm gonna go read the comments all day long. Not a whole lot of people caught that, though, that I said again, and no one's like, what was the first time? What was the first time? But shall we still in debt in 10 years? God, I hope not. I'm not at 29, so her at 29, I hope, is out of debt too. I mean, that's not true. I have credit card debt, but that's like, that's purposeful debt. You do that with intention. I'm gonna go get the hugs. Is she Catherine, though? She is whoever you want she to be. We did not give a definitive answer for a reason. We wanted it to be ambiguous. We went on a coffee date. Where did it go from there? Who knows? You can decide. That one's up to you and your imagination, whatever you want. Flying Butterfly, Jade and Evie, Rosie Hugh, and Minty Catboy. Bring it in for a hug. Thanks for hanging out today for a little stream. I got a lot of packing to do for Japan. I have a lot of like things that I need to order and have been ordering that I need to get before I leave for 2 weeks. I got a lot to plan. There's a lot. But thanks for hanging out. I hope to see an art of me and Catherine on my broom with little coffees soon. I might just have to commission one myself, in fact. Because I just feel like I need that now. I'm gonna have you guys read Cleo. Go be cool, go be nice, go be so chill and vibey and do only the nicest of things in the chat. Go be so swell, the nicest of people on the internet. I'll be in the comments of my Empires episode today, so if you want to have any more questions about lore answered, I am answering them on my YouTube videos comments. So anything I didn't get to, go drop it in the comments, and I will be answering any questions and whatnot over there. And go say hi to Cleo, and I'll see you guys all soon. Goodbye.